Hi guys, I'm Woodcraft Hamster, and I thought I'd do a quick video today on a couple of new tools I've recently picked up. And that's these two Kemp pattern axes that I picked up off a web forum that I belong to. The pair of them cost me in total £30, so a really good deal. It's about what I'd expect to pay for sort of an older, more traditional style axe like this. You can get them cheaper. You can often buy them without the handles on, which makes them a little bit cheaper. I was lucky, they're both handled and they're both in sound condition. But really what I wanted to talk about today was the fact that these kind of axes, although as I'm sure you know, I favour the Bruks axes, that's what I tend to use for my carving. But I just, these came up, they were available, they were a really good deal, and I thought, well, you know what, I'll pick them up and see how I go with them. But taking the smaller of the two hatchets first, this is about a 1.5 pound head, really light, really nice short handle, really good for carving. You can sort of get in really close for sort of the finer detail work. You've still got long enough handle to sort of take some good swings if you need to as well. And really, if you're new to carving or you want to get yourself another carving axe as I have, just to have something a bit different to use, you can't go wrong with one of these. Now I'll give you an example. There you go, nice close up. Now these blades are actually pretty blunt, which is not to be unexpected when you're buying second-hand axes like this. Won't take me a great deal of time to sort these out, give them a quick sharpen. I'll probably use my puck stone on there first of all, and then I'll move over to maybe a normal bench stone or something like that, give it a bit of a strop, and it should be nice and sharp. Now as I say, it's not very sharp at the moment. I'll give you an example. I would struggle using that to make a decent carving, and to be honest, not unexpected. So that's the first one. Really nice little axe, and it's, as I say, I'm probably going to look at modifying that at some point. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet. I'll almost certainly rehandle it. It's not something I've done before. I've always bought axes pre-handled. It's something I've quite fancied trying, so I'll probably do another video on that at some point. What I might also do is re-profile the head itself. I'll leave the blade as it is, but what I'll probably do is remove some material from sort of round here, just so that you've got a nice sort of area that you can choke up really close. Might take a little bit off the back as well, just to sort of make it match and make it a bit more even, and just give it more of a sort of a carving axe appearance. It will lighten the head slightly as well, and depending on your style of carving, some people will just use the head of the axe to do the work. I tend to use a combination of just the weight of the axe and also a little bit of sort of force and pressure from my end as well. So again, this will just be a nice little light carving axe that I can use as an alternative to, say, my Bruks carving axe, which is a fairly heavy axe. I can't recall the exact weight of the head at the moment, definitely heavier than this. So this will sort of probably work out the same way as my my mini hatchet that you may have seen in some of my other videos. That's a really nice, small, light, fast axe. And this is just going to give me an alternative to that, and because it was so cheap, I'm quite happy to sort of grind away some of the material just to get it looking kind of how I want it to look. So that's the first one, and the second one is this. Now again, it's a Kemp pattern. It's a large axe. It's about a 3.5 pound head. We've put my hand next to it. Obviously, it's a very large axe. It's definitely the largest axe that I own at the moment. I don't have any felling axes or anything like that. And what I wanted to show you, this is the handle. So if I just get this lined up right on the camera, hopefully you can see there's a sort of slightly pronounced curve coming around this way. And the reason for that, or certainly the reason why I purchased it, is I'd like to use this as a broad axe or a side axe, depending on what you want to call it. And the idea is that you hold it like so, and you run down the length of a log. And what the slight curve allows you to do is just to keep your hands and your fingers away from the log. And what it will allow you to do is hew down and sort of square off logs for making beams and planks and that kind of thing. Again, very blunt. Hopefully shouldn't take me too long to sort this one out. But again, for £30, these two axes, absolutely brilliant. Now for me, they're more something that I just want to add to my collection. The larger one, I'm very unlikely to use it, or at least use it very often. That's because I don't do a lot of hewing, but I've always wanted an axe that will give me that ability, hence this one. And this one, as I say, if I was to split the cost of these two axes in half, this would have cost £15. Sorry about the planes, guys, they've been going over all day. And again, you know, this is a really nice, lightweight, once I've sharpened it, should be a very, very good axe. You tend to find with the older axes like this, you know, they've got really good build quality, they're normally made of good steel, and I'll certainly be able to prove that once I've sharpened it up. But again, you know, if you're just starting out in carving, you want to get yourself a new axe, and you know, maybe you're a more experienced carver, you want something different. Picking up something like this is a world apart from spending 50, 60, 70, 100 pounds on a dedicated carving axe. You know, something like a Gransfors Brux or a Halterfors, or even something custom made. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with these axes, and hopefully once I've done my mods, that probably won't be for a little while yet, but when I get round to doing it, I will do a video on it. Unfortunately, I don't have access to a grinder, so all this is going to have to be cut away by hand with a hacksaw and a file, so I'll probably sort of make it a fairly speedy video, just showing you step by step and not the bits in between. But again, guys, you know, if you're looking for a budget axe, go down to things like car boot fairs. I mean, I got this online on a web forum, specifically into bushcraft. You can find a lot of this kind of stuff there. You can pick them up on online websites, auction sites, things like eBay. I mean, I've seen quite a few of these on there, and I've actually never got round to actually bothering buying one until now. But again, you know, if you're looking to get into carving, you don't want to spend too much money, you're not sure if it's going to be your kind of thing, you know, you really can't go wrong with something like this. And the sort of the traditional sort of Kemp style, Kemp pattern axes like these are, which is this kind of flared area here. I mean, do a Google on Kemp pattern axes. You know, the various websites can explain them a lot better than I can, but they are a very, very good carving axe. And what I think I'll probably do is, once I've modded this one, and when I come to sort of tidy this one up a bit, I'll probably do a quick video as well, just to show you kind of, you know, how you'll sharpen a blunt axe and things like that. You know, my other videos, I think I've done one before, but that was with an axe that was already sharp, and it was really just giving it a very quick going over on a fine stone and then a strop. So I hope it was useful, guys. You know, it's just something to think about. You know, if you're looking to get your first axe or a new axe or anything like that, you don't have to go brand new. You don't have to go from a really high-end maker. There are alternatives out there that will do you just as good as something that maybe is a little bit more expensive. But I hope it was useful, guys. Comment some questions in the box below. Happy to have a discussion if you've got any questions about this kind of stuff. Hit like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I hope you'll all join me next time. Thanks, guys.